Hey coach, do you have any recommendations for pre-menopause belly fat gain? Yes, I do. Great question. For the past 21 years of my coaching career, 95% of my client base are between age 35 to 55 females, with the oldest one turning 77 today. God bless her soul. She's amazing. Let's focus on the patterns I see when it comes to pre-menopause belly fat gain and what recommendations I give. Okay. The first three patterns that I see, and the last one is the most important one, I'll focus on that later. Number one, they're under proteined. Number two, they're under fibered. And number three, they're under muscled. Protein. Most women that come to me, what I've noticed is they're under protein. Even when they say they have adequate amount of protein, they're not. Internet sources say 0.5 to 0.8 grams per kilogram per body weight. I disagree. I say 0.10 grams. This is what I do for my clients, 0.10 grams per kilogram per body weight. The reason why I do that is because I also get them to lower their starches and their sugars. And I put them on my muscle activation training program. So if you don't know what muscle activation training is, comment below muscle activation training question mark. I'll tell you what it is. I'll make a separate video about that. And I'll focus a little bit about that at the end when I explain the third point. Okay, so I increase their protein. I put them on also muscle activation training program. Then I up their fiber. I get them to have greens and a lot of high fibrous vegetables like broccoli. And I also get them to have a scoop of Metamucil or psyllium husk per day with a ton of hydration, a ton, because the standard American diet, SAD diet, is under fibered, okay? And last, I do a muscle activation training program. So the pattern I see under the fitness umbrella is they're over group classed or over cardioed. I'll talk about the group class first. They have belly fat, but they continue to do Orange Theory Fitness F45, a high intensity boot camp class, and it doesn't work. And they're wondering, like, why the hell am I not losing belly fat? The other pattern I see is they're in the gym and somebody in their family or friend told them do strength training, and what they associate with strength training is they'll go to the gym, they'll do a couple of sets of this, then do a couple of sets of this, and they're like, my trainer made me do that and I did strength training. Then they'll go hit the elliptical machine for 45 minutes to an hour 15. And what I call that is over movement, not getting to your destination, because we can move in place and not get somewhere. Or the trainer will put a barbell squat in their shoulders and get them to do squat, and this is what they do, a drop squat. That's what I call not enough time under tension on the muscles that I want them to work, and too much tension in the lower back and their joints. What I do for them is I cut out all weightlifting until they've learned how to activate their muscle fibers and focus on maximizing tension in their muscle fibers on my 12-week program. One little example of that would be on my program, I do what I call a bent over single leg squat. Front leg, back leg, core super engaged at all times, shifting your pelvis back to activate the tension here, the large muscle group here. And the time under tension goes like this: 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, pause, which activates the dormant muscle fibers in your inner hip. 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. And I don't allow them to come all the way up, okay? So this maximizes tension in the areas that need maximal tension and minimizes the tension in the lower back and their knees, because they need to protect the joints based whether they've had kids, pregnancies between age 35 to 55, overworking their hormones, body, whatever stress stuff they're going through. That is the starting journey for my 12-week losing belly fat, building nice, round, sexy muscles, and changing your body composition. If you have any questions, drop your question below and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. If you need information about my program, we want to know what muscle activation is on my 12-week program, comment below muscle activation Question mark. Until next video, Coach Adam.